When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is Devoid of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. Now, this is The Son of Brainiac, Part 14. Now, I personally don't know how long this series is going to get to. I'm going to continue it until it's finished, but I just don't know how many parts I'm going to make for this. I have an idea how I want to end it, but I still don't know how many parts are going to take until I get to that point, because we're already at part 14. So I'm thinking maybe this series would be around 20 to 30 parts, but I'm not totally sure yet. So anyways, let's continue where we last left off in our story. Deku and Child begin to walk through the facility of Deku's underground laboratory in Mount Fuji. Deku proceeds to give Child a more thorough tour around his facility. Deku stopped in front of a large metal glass door and began to put in a combination code onto the electric panel to gain entry. As the metal blast doors slowly open up and reveal a huge hangar filled with all of his killing machines. Half of them were the humanoid murder machines, and the other half were all the robotic version, well, the animal robotic version. As the other half was animalistic looking. Combat robots filled with different types of animals it was based off of, into brainiac bots. There's quite many of them. Child noticed one of the bigger ones is actually a robotic dragon. You notice that one. It's the strongest I ever created. Not as versatile like my Mark series, but there's one thing it has going for it: absolute power. Think of it as like a juggernaut. And ability as flight, naturally. Also has nanobots to repair any damage is received from the robotic dragon. And it's quite intelligent with the artificial AI I created for it. How many do you have exactly? I have about 50 for now. But once I start siphoning the planet's natural resources, and I will immediately begin the mass production of my Dragon Core units. What exactly is going to happen to the humans on this planet? For the ones that are fortunate enough to be in one of the many cities I plan to shrink, those humans will be the more fortunate ones, but the rest of them will be eradicated. I'm surprised you're so willing to sacrifice so many human lives, without a second thought, without no remorse. They're only human. A singular human species disappearing, it wouldn't be important enough to interrupt the grand scheme of things. These humans perceive themselves to be important, but in truth, they're not. Yes, humans do have potential, but it is overshadowed by their destructive nature. When a species displays such qualities, they should be cleansed immediately before they could cause any greater harm when their civilization create technology to explore the galaxy. I have no sympathy for humans. Never have and never will. I just find these specific species of humans to be quite interesting. And I highly doubt you have a moral code about humans. After all, you are a lord of chaos. Of course I don't. I don't care any less what happened to humans. I was just curious on your mindset. I just want to make sure that we won't clash because of pathetic morals. Trust me, child. I have no intention of interfering with your plans, as long as you don't interfere with mine. We won't have any trouble working together. Good. I would hate to have to re-educate you. Like I said, magic can do many things. I would rather not warp your mind to make you obedient. Warning received. Now shall we move on with our tour? Of course, Deku. The Metal Blast door finally closed as they continued their tour. Deku showed Child several smaller labs, and he eventually showed her a bigger lab where he does all his Quirk research. You see, Child, the majority of the population of these humans on this planet have abilities that they refer as quirks that they gain by genetics. It is quite fascinating. According to my research, eventually, the humans' quirks, given time, will gain too powerful for their frail, weak human bodies to withstand. Time will come where their bodies won't be able to withstand their power anymore. But I don't see that happening until many generations have passed. So in other words, these humans are already doomed. Indeed, they are, without any way to modify their bodies to withstand their quirks when they become too powerful for their bodies to hold, to be able to handle it. I've already came up with several different ways to modify a human body to withstand more powerful quirks in the future. Did that to see if I could. I was satisfied with the results. What exactly is your main goal? It's quite simple. This planet is doomed regardless. I divulge this information or not. Considering you are my mistress, while I'm in service as your anchor and familiar, once I start my invasion and take my prize, I will drain the natural resource until there's nothing left. Then I will personally eliminate the planet. Then I'm going to use the natural resources to mass produce my lovely killing machines. Then I'm going to attack the Green Lantern's homeworld once I secure a victory and kill the Guardians. No one will be able to stop me. The Green Lantern's main battery core will be mine. I'm quite curious on what you're going to do with the main battery for the Green Lantern core. I plan to absorb it every last bit. Hopefully by that time, I've already gained my first evolution. Even I know in my current state, my body won't be able to handle so much power. Unknown to both Deku and Child, inside the main battery core for the Green Lantern, Parallax was imprisoned inside the Green Lantern's battery core, or main battery core, basically what it is. Main battery, basically. Only the Guardians are aware that Parallax is inside the main battery core for the Green Lantern core. Deku continued to show Child around after the tour was completed. He stayed in the laboratory to finish up any projects that were near completion until he was contacted. The League, they're going to plan to attack the students from UA during their training trip. That's going to happen in a few days. The League requests his presence at the bar. Deku somehow got Child to stay behind. He was relieved that Child has no desire to associate herself with the League of Villains. With that taken care of, Deku arrived at the League of Villains' main base of operation at the bar. Deku is fully aware that the League should have already moved locations. It's only a matter of time before the League's presence here is discovered. But of course, Deku has no desire to inform him of such a thing, as the League's time on this planet is coming to an end. In all honesty, the League is no longer useful to Deku. He's just waiting for the right opportunity to strike. A little birdie told me you're going to attack a training camp in a few days, as Deku walked up to Shigaraki. That they did. I found a possible recruit among the 1A students. The one that creates explosions. Explosion Boy. I believe his name was Bakugo. Does have a temperament of a villain. Can't be too sure if he'll join. He doesn't thinking this in his mind. He doesn't know the very human very well, so he's unsure if he'll switch teams. But Deku has no desire to bring that up, after all, Bakugo and a rare few others of the heroes in trainings has piqued his interest, so he has a plan for them. After all, Deku has planned to have many battles with the chosen humans. He chose to be his nemesis. After all, he's not the good guy. He needs a proper nemesis of his own. That's not affiliated with any of the heroes on the planet Earth. He's referring to the Justice League, the heroes on the planet Earth, basically. I didn't really specify what the planet name for this, but it doesn't really matter. Let's continue. He's originally designated to be Brainiac Zero, but he's nothing like his creator. He does things differently. And he has the perfect environment to place them in when the time is right. Deku continued to listen to the plan and give advice when it was necessary. Because of Muscular is no longer the give me a second, guys. It's no longer viable. Deku will fill the role that Muscular was supposed to take. After all, Deku did kill him. In return, Shigaraki gave Deku complete control of the Vanguard Action Squad during this operation. Deku and the members of the Vanguard Action Squad appeared in the forest through a portal that Deku created. Listen, team, we have some time to kill until the operation begins. We have 2 days. The heroes in training should be arriving at camp, most likely tomorrow. But their actual camp training doesn't start until the next day. We'll sit tight until it's time for us to strike. Mustard, make sure all your equipment is all working order. The smoke that you can create is vital to keep some of the students busy while we capture our target. Deku hand over a file filled with paper and pictures of several heroes in training. As Deku handed the files over to Dabi, memorize it, then burn it afterwards. These are my targets, including your brother. For what? You never seem to be the type to go after the weak UA students. I will be removing them from the board. No harm will come to your brother or to other students. I simply want to place them on a new field. And what exactly is this field? An Earth, of course. You see, my friend, every villain has to have a arch nemesis. Now, and I see quite potential in the specific students. Your brother is among them. He has potential to make things more interesting. Alright, I'll make sure. These specific students are not killed. Make sure Toga knows as well. You know how she gets when blood is involved. I have lessened her desire for drinking blood, but it's still a major factor in her quirk. That craving can never be removed completely. I just lessen the girl's madness to be controllable for her. Got it, boss. Don't worry, your family will be next to be teleported to Earth. They'll find a good life on that planet. Aren't you going to target Earth anyways? I don't care about that planet. I'm only going there to kill Superman. And to have some fun. Beyond that, I have no intention of trying to conquering Earth. Like that. I want to have some fun while I'm on that planet. Just keep an eye on Mustard and the other one, with the blades for teeth. I don't trust them. I believe his name is Moonfish. He's nothing but a wild beast. But as long as he plays his part, I won't have to eliminate him. Just remember, Mina, Bakugo, Nejire, Todoroki. I will be placing them on a new field for later fun. That he was one of them on a list, but the league's after him. They are. I have a feeling he won't agree to the join. I have a feeling Bakugo won't agree to join the league. Once the opportunity presents itself, I will act and teleport one of the key members I have chosen to be teleported to Earth. And once I have everyone safely teleported away, gather your family. I highly doubt they'll come willingly, as Dekuta's Dobby a futuristic knockout grenade. What's this, boss? It's a very powerful knockout agent. It's completely harmless to humans, but affects a human's body pretty quickly. And bring Mr. Compress in case things don't work. Boss, once you have your family, take them back to the laboratory and I'll portal them away when you do. My instincts are telling me a perfect chance for me to strike is fast approaching. I'm going to see how this all plays out. If we're lucky, this operation will fail and bring the heroes to us, to the League's very own doorstep. You plan to teleport more people to Earth, sir? I do, my friend. I have a very interesting encounter with the bunny hero, known as Mirka. I think I would very much like to fight her again. So she'll be added to the list to be teleported to Earth, alongside with the girl with the zero gravity quirk. I believe her name was Ochako Araka or something like that. Enough about that. When the time gets close to begin our operation, I will be sending out the low-tier Nomus. Once I give you the signal, you immediately initiate your attack. Copy that, sir. Deku turned around and walked away with his hands behind his back. Deku decided to scout the area and just be sure he gets a better idea of the layout. So he scouted the camp and the entire forest while invisible, using one of his infiltration abilities. While Deku was exploring the forest, he noticed someone was following him by the treetops. All Deku noticed was the glowing yellow eyes. He recognized who it was immediately, but he still played along. Toga jumped down, throwing several of her throwing knives at Deku, only to see her weapons bounce off of him. As Toga begins to pout. Most impressive, Toga. Not only did you manage to locate me while I was still invisible, but you even managed to sneak up on me to a point. I'm still a bit frustrated. I can't cut you. It's no fair. Everyone feels that way when they cross paths with me in battle. Report? Aye aye, sir. As Toga give a military salute. Everything is going according to plan. The little heroes haven't arrived yet, but I have no doubt they'll be arriving soon. I noticed there was the heroes on this camp, getting everything ready. Ah, I believe those were the Pussycats. Anything else to report? Just some random kid with the heroes. Interesting. Must be a relative of one of the Pussycats. No matter, leave the kid alone. Aye aye, Capitan. Get in your position. I sense new life signatures entering the area. They're heading towards the camp through the forest. Judging by the sounds of explosions, it's the students. Seems like they finally arrived. Go and have some fun before the party gets started. It's pleasure. As Toga jumped off and began to run, with a very vicious smile on her face. Deku searched and found a good cliffside to get a good view of the battlefield. Deku waited until the operation began. He immediately took out a small round device. As it begins to float off the palm of his hand as a holographic image of a keyboard and Windows appeared in a holographic form. Deku activated his command. This is command to all agents of the Vanguard Action Squad. Begin operation immediately. Sending out Nomus. 3, 2, 1. As all the Nomus rush into the forest, all of the members of the Vanguard Action Squad heard their commands in their communicators that are currently in their ear, like an earpiece. Once Deku activated the first stage of the plan to send out the Nomus, then he singled Dabi to begin burning the forest down, making his way towards the pro-heroes. Deku could easily join the fight, but he'll be more useful to move the members of the Vanguard Action Squad to specific locations. And he can't do that while he's in the midst of battle. He's going to have to play the strategist this time around. This is what you've been up to. For the life of me, I don't understand why you follow these creatures. They're so beneath you. Disgusting cockroaches. It's a means to an end, mistress. I don't enjoy my time serving these creatures. Especially to someone so unworthy. After all, despite his impressive decay ability, he's still only human. Don't worry, his time will come. But I have a feeling the master will die before the pupil. What do you mean? I know for certain you don't have any future sight abilities. That is true. I can't see the future, but I could sense. I can sense it. My long-awaited opportunity will be revealing itself soon. I have no doubt the League base of operation will no longer be secret. One of the UA students, I believe her name was Momo Yarozu, just planted a tracking device on one of the Nomus. Deku pointed to the screen. My brainiac sentry bot is feeding me a live footage of the operation and transfer it back here at command. I could easily remove it, but I don't want to. I have no doubt if we're successful here in kidnapping one of the students in training, they'll definitely drag the heroes into this. All Might himself will be probably the first one to volunteer. And by doing so, it will lure out All for One. And I have no doubt they will have an interesting battle. And when that happens, I'll strike. If possible, I would like to kill both of them at the same time. But let's see how things play out. Child couldn't help but be impressed. She would never lower herself to follow a mere human, but she can see the merit in his actions to this point. Child knows full well Deku could easily invade this planet at any time. She suspects this is only a game to him. And she has the same thought process, so she's going to enjoy the drama with her familiar. Her familiar finally reveal his true nature. Child has a better understanding of Deku's personality. He likes to make things interesting for himself. Typical fashion in a death battle. He's more willing to give his opponent a fighting chance. Just some sort of misguided sense of honor. She suspects it must be his kryptonite side shining through, but his intelligence temper all of his other emotions, not allowing his emotions to guide his actions. Always going by facts and data, but at the same time, willingly to think out of the box. Deku noticed they got their target as the Vanguard Action Squad beginning to head towards the warp gate that just opened up in the middle of the forest. Deku directs his team to the rendezvous point to be portaled out. Short pause because of Muscular's death by Deku's hands. Koda and Deku will not have an interaction in his story. He wasn't depressed by his parents' death. His parents are still alive. So Koda just stayed in the cabin by one of the Pussycats' side during the entire whole event. Now let's continue with our story. It seems like my job is done here, as the holographic image of the windows and keyboard disappear as Deku caught the small round device and put it back in his pocket. I'm going to be heading off to the League of Villains headquarters. You don't have to worry about me, Deku-kun. I'll keep myself entertained. I want to see more of these stores before all the fun starts. I'll see you real soon. As Child teleported away to explore the human city, while Deku portaled back to the bar. Good job on a completed mission. Of course, and you expect nothing less of me. Where is the angry blonde, by the way? The back tied up. I had to gag him. I honestly don't know how someone like that was even accepted at a hero school to begin with. I'll go say hi. We've encountered each other a few times. Just don't kill him. I'm still trying to get him to join the League. Dream of it. As Deku left to check up on Bakugo. Bakugo regained consciousness after being knocked out by one of the villains, after he refused to join the villains When he refused to join the villains the first time, when he was asked, Bakugo found himself gagged and tied to a chair with some sort of Quirk suppressor over his entire forearm, preventing him from releasing any explosions. Bakugo noticed the door on the other side of the room slowly begin to open up. Bakugo narrowed his eyes, seeing Deku walk in, and close the door and lock it behind him. Fate is such a wonderful thing, wouldn't you agree, little hero? As Deku pulled out the gag out of Bakugo's mouth. Bakugo would normally start yelling and telling the villain to die. But he can't act rashly in this situation. He calmed himself and actually thought it through. He found this villain confusing. Normal villains just like to cause chaos and harm anyone, or desire to kill heroes and civilians alike. There's no way around it. Deku has shown he has no problem killing heroes. His actions at the sports festival during the sports festival and the internship was proof enough. He's willing to kill, but Deku can't shake the feeling that has an alternative motive. Normally, he wouldn't even bother with some shitty villain, but Bakugo can't shake the feeling that Deku is up to something, and is probably not good. About time you got here, shitty green hair head. Shitty villain. like to say shit a lot, don't you? But please, enlighten me. Great Bakugo Koski. That's murder explosion to you, villain. Very well, I'll play along, murder explosion. Straight to the case. Why are you with these losers? What I have experienced personally and what I've seen you do, you're clearly more powerful. I want to know why someone with your power is following a bunch of losers. Now, that's the correct type of question to ask. I'm no fool, murder explosion. The League of Villains' very existence is coming to an end. Stop beating around the bush, you bastard. Give me a straight answer. Impatient, aren't we? It's quite simple. Me and the League have a take and give type of relationship. I really don't care about their vendetta against the #1 hero. But the League's usefulness is coming to an end. In other words, you've been using them. Of course I have. I'm far more superior to you mere humans. So I take it you already received an offer to join the League? Of course I did, and I told him to shove it. I have no intention of being a shitty villain. I worked too hard to get to this point just to jeopardize it and destroy all my hard work. I'm a hero through and through. I'm going to be the #1 hero. Nothing's going to stop me. No shitty villain's going to get in my way. I figured as much. Your friends should be arriving pretty soon. What? As Bakugo was surprised. According to my intel, the heroes are gathering up their forces to raid this location. By the tracking device that the hero in training, who is called Momo, made with her Quirk. During the training camp. Of course she would do that. Tracking device, no doubt. But you don't seem to be bothered by it one bit, and that's a bit unnerving. What are you plotting, villain? In a lot of things. Murder explosion, regardless of the heroes known your location. What they do matters not. No matter how hard you heroes and you humans struggle, you're doomed. You just don't know it yet. Worry not, murder explosion. Your fate won't be theirs. I have plans for you and a few others of your fellow students. I knew it. I knew you were up to something. What exactly you're plotting, villain? It won't work. I'll stop you. Now that would ruin the surprise. For the heroes and villains alike. Deku left the room, leaving Bakugo speechless for the very first time in his life. As Deku laughs as he leaves the room and shuts the door behind him. That's where we're gonna stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging my time zones. And I'll catch you in the next video.